Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Connecticut Health Foundation's training webinar for our new online portal. My name is Brittany Cavalieri, and I'm a program officer here at the Foundation. Before we get started with the webinar, I'd like to provide a few housekeeping details. All computer lines are muted. If you joined by phone, please mute your line. To adjust your speaker volume, on the top menu bar, click Audio, then Computer Audio Settings, and adjust the volume. If you have questions at any point during the webinar, please type them in the chat box. We will have time to answer a few questions at the end. This webinar is being recorded and will be available on the Foundation's website later this week. Other resources for navigating the portal, including short videos and quick reference guides, will also be available on the Foundation's website later this week. I'd now like to hand it off to Tiffany Donaldson, the Connecticut Health Foundation's Vice President of Programs.
Thank you, Brittany. I just want to thank you all for joining us. I'm just going to give a brief welcome and then allow Brittany to walk through the training. I greatly appreciate all of you who have joined this webinar to learn more about our grants database. For those of you who have been our past grantees, you know that we primarily requested information via PDF and Word document, and we are so excited that we now have a web-based grants database. This database will allow you to submit your concept papers, your grant applications, as well as your reports all online. So we are excited because we are finally stepping into the digital age, and we are excited to take these steps with you. So we are really hopeful that this will become a more efficient process for you all as you are doing your grants work, and also for us as we are tracking your work and responding to your work. You'll see that we have engaged Flux to be our grants database vendor. Flux is an organization that was started by philanthropy and for philanthropy. There are a lot of philanthropic organizations that are currently using this database, and we selected it after months of research, and we really tried to choose a tool that, again, would be easy for you all to use, easy for us to use, and that would be efficient for everyone. So I really hope that this system is what we hope it will be. I hope that you all will see the benefits of the system as we walk through. And we look forward to hearing your questions and also to you utilizing this database over time. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Brittany, who is going to begin the official training.
Thanks, Tiffany. Today I'm going to walk you all through our online portal from registration and logging in to submitting grant proposals and grant reports. At the end of the webinar, I will provide you with the website of the portal so that you can get started. It's important to note that the Flux system is most compatible with the Google Chrome browser. It also works with Firefox. Flux suggests not using Internet Explorer to access the online portal, especially not Internet Explorer version 11. So when you first visit the login page, again, I'll give you the website at the end of the training, you'll notice that you can either log in using your credentials or create a new account. Everyone will have to start by creating a new account. So from this main page, you will click on Create an Account Now. You'll be taken to an eligibility quiz that checks for the most basic level of eligibility required to apply for funding through the Connecticut Health Foundation. Complete the eligibility quiz and click Submit. If your answers to the eligibility quiz do not align with our eligibility criteria, you'll be taken to a page where you can review our eligibility guidelines. This page also provides contact information for the Foundation if you believe your ineligibility is inaccurate. If you pass the eligibility quiz, you'll be taken to this registration page. Please complete as many of the fields on this page as possible, including contact information for your organization found at the top of the page and contact information for yourself found at the bottom part of the page. The more information you provide us with, the more accurate our records will be. All bolded fields are required. When you're finished, all you need to do is click Submit Request at the bottom of the page. You will not be provided with login information immediately. Our staff will review your registration and create an account for you. You will receive an email within 2 business days with your new login credentials. Once you've received those login credentials, you'll head back to the main portal page and log in, this time over here using the left-hand side of the screen. Once you log in for the first time, be sure to change your password. You'll do this by clicking on this gear menu here and then clicking on Change Password. Enter your current password as well as your new password and then click Change Password. Now you're all set and ready to navigate the Connecticut Health Foundation's grantee portal. So now I'm going to switch over to a live view of the portal to do some actual training with you all.
Okay, so it's supposed to be working.
Okay, so right away you'll notice this gray navigation bar on the left side of the menu, or the left side of the portal page. This is your menu for navigating the portal. This is how you'll navigate through as you look for funding opportunities, apply for grants, and submit progress reports. The navigation bar is structured with 7 main sections made up of tabs. The information section at the very top is where you can find information about how to use the portal, understand eligibility requirements, pursue funding opportunities, and start applications for a grant or an event sponsorship. Think of these as folders moving forward here. The request section is where you can find grant proposals that you're working on, grant proposals that are under review, need revisions, or have been declined. Under the grant section, you'll find historic grant information, including grants that are active or open, and grants that are closed. The reports section is the place where you can submit progress reports to the foundation, see reports that are under review, as well as those that have been approved. And you can also edit reports that need revisions or that the foundation requests more information about. The payments section is where you can see payments the foundation has made, as well as refunds of grant dollars that we've received back from you. Lastly, at the bottom, in users and organizations, you can see contact information that the foundation has on file for your organization, yourself, and others in your organization who use the grantee portal. You aren't able to update your contact information through the portal. However, if you notice an error or need to update it, you can contact the foundation to make those changes. So back up at the top under Information, you can click on the tab called How to Use the Grantee Portal. This contains a very detailed guide to use as a reference as you get used to navigating through. It outlines what you can find under each tab.
Hi, this is Tiffany again. If you are not speaking, can you please make sure to mute your phone line? Thank you so much.
Okay, so now that we've gone through a little bit about each section, I'm going to start with the most basic thing. When you come in, you're oftentimes looking for a funding opportunity. So in the grantee portal, you can apply for a program grant, reply to a request for a proposal, submit an application for a president's discretionary grant, or apply for event sponsorship dollars. Each funding opportunity has different eligibility requirements and deadlines. Before pursuing, be sure to review our grant seeker guidelines, which you can find here. Today I will show you how to submit a proposal for a program grant, but note that the basic process for President's discretionary grants and event sponsorships is similar. The first step in applying for a program grant is to submit a concept paper that briefly describes your proposed project and the expected outcome. So what you'll do is click on Apply Program Grant. You'll review the eligibility requirements and the grant cycle deadlines. At the very bottom of the page, if you believe that you are eligible for this, go ahead and click Apply Now. That application screen will come up. It's important to note that the grantee portal does not have an autosave function and thus will not autosave while you work on grant proposals or progress reports. Be sure to regularly click the Save button in the bottom right corner, right here, to ensure that your data is not lost. Each time you click Save, it will exit out of this edit window and show you a read-only view of your proposal, from which you can enter back into the edit window, and I'll show you that in a few moments. So now you're able to complete the concept paper. Complete all the fields in the form. If your proposal has a fiscal sponsor, you'll go ahead and click Yes here, and then we ask that you provide details for that organization, including contact information for a primary contact there. You'll go through, you'll complete all the fields, and again, the bolded fields are required. Once you've completed the concept paper, you'll click Save. And like I said before, you'll be taken to a read-only view of your concept paper. Here, you can either edit it by clicking this button in the right-hand corner, or at the bottom of the page, you can submit it. Even though my concept paper is incomplete at the moment, I'm going to submit it just so you can see what happens. So I'll click Submit. When you click Submit, a box will appear that says Note for Submit. We ask that you do not add any important information in this note box. It will not be considered as part of your application. So just go ahead and click OK. And now a message will appear that either says you've successfully submitted your concept paper, or that there are incomplete fields that you need to edit before it can be submitted. As you can see here, I have many fields that need to be completed before I submit it. An unsubmitted proposal, one that you are still working on, that's still in draft form, will appear under the Request section in the folder called Drafts. Here, like I said before, you can either edit or submit what you're working on. A submitted proposal will appear under Pending Decision by CT Health. It will remain here until either revisions are requested by the foundation or the proposal moves to the next stage of the review process. Note here that you cannot edit or submit. This is just a read-only version of your concept paper. If the foundation staff invites you to submit a full proposal based on your concept paper, you will get an email notification. You'll log into the grantee portal and navigate to the Drafts tab under the Request header. You'll want to navigate to the correct proposal by looking at the grant ID number found right here. And you can click it. Here, I'll show you this one here. And you can go ahead and click Edit to begin working on it. You'll notice that all of your concept paper responses are here. They're now only in a read-only view. As you can see, I can't edit these. These are here for your reference as you work on your concept paper. You can collapse this section if need be. So now in your full application, you'll want to make sure you complete all of the fields, and remember, the bolded fields are required. So I'm going to just scroll through so you can get an idea what this looks like. You'll notice our diversity chart has changed a little bit, although the information is still the same. And towards the bottom, we have your proposed project budget. What we ask you to do is download the budget worksheet template by simply clicking on one of these hyperlinks. It's the same budget worksheet that we've been working with for all of this time. It's just this time it's electronic and Excel. So we ask that you complete it. Make sure you save the completed version, and then when you're ready, you can upload it at the end of the application. So if you scroll down some more, you have this Documents section, and right here it reminds you that you must upload the budget worksheet in order to submit this request. So you'll go ahead and click this blue plus button, add your file, click Start Upload, and once up here the status reaches 100%, you can go ahead and close out of this pop-up screen. The budget worksheet will show right here. What you uploaded will show right here. Additionally, all these other required documents, it's the same process. Click the blue plus sign, click Add File, pick your file, click Start Upload. When the status reaches 100%, you can go ahead and close out of the pop-up window. When everything is done, click Save. And as always, as I said before, we do not have an autosave function on this portal, so you'll want to save often to ensure that your data is not lost. Once you've finished and you've come back to the read-only view, you can either go ahead and continue to edit by clicking Edit in the top right corner, or you can submit your proposal by clicking Submit. It's the same process as the concept paper. Your Note to Submit box will come up. We ask that you don't type anything there, just click OK, and you'll either get a message that says you submitted your proposal successfully, or there's these empty fields that you need to complete before you can submit it. If the foundation invites you to submit a proposal without a concept paper, you will also find it under Drafts to begin working on, just like this one here. You'll notice, though, there's no concept paper information in here, unlike in the other one. Your application can be viewed in a read-only form under Pending Decision by CT Health until either the foundation staff requests more information or a final decision is made. The process for submitting proposals for President's discretionary grants and applications for event sponsorships is very similar, though they do not require a concept paper. Oftentimes, the foundation staff seeks further information about a proposal. Rather than doing this by email like we've done for a long time, we can now do this directly through the grantee portal, and that's what I'll show you next. When we have follow-up questions, you'll get an email alerting you to log into the grantee portal to respond to our questions. Your proposal will now appear under Revisions Required in the Request section. Just like before, in the email you get, it will say the grant number, so make sure you locate the correct grant before you begin working on it. At the top of the read-only view will be a message to the applicant, as you see here in red. Here we have, please respond to the questions below under follow-up questions from CT Health and resubmit your proposal. So what we'll go ahead and do is click Edit. In the table of contents, you'll see follow-up questions from CT Health. Go ahead and click on that, and you'll see the questions that we've asked right there underneath follow-up questions from CT Health. To respond to our questions, all you need to do is type in the subsequent text boxes. So just like this. But don't say hello. Give us a good answer. You then go ahead and click Save. And when you're ready, you can click Resubmit in the bottom corner. Your application will then move back to Pending Decision by CT Health until a final decision is made or we have more questions for you. So that's it for the request section for submitting proposals. Next, we'll go to this grant section. As I said before, Once a final decision has been made on a grant, the application will move either to the declined folder under requests if it was declined, or to the active folder under grants if it was approved. Under grants, you can see all historic grants, including open or active grants and closed grants. I don't have any on this page. Please note that for past grants before June of 2018, there will be little information aside from grant start and end date and amount requested. For some of them, they will have a copy of your electronic proposal that you submitted via email and your reports. So now we'll talk about submitting reports. Whether it's an interim or final report, you'll submit everything right here through the grantee portal. The process for submitting reports is very similar to the process for submitting a grant application. So as you get used to this, it will get a lot easier. When a grant is approved, Foundation staff inputs report due dates into our end of the database, and that creates report templates for you to complete at the appropriate time. A report template for your grant can be found under either Draft Interim Reports or Draft Final Reports, depending on the type of report you're looking to complete. Click on the appropriate report. I'll show you here, Final Reports. I have this report here. Click on the appropriate report by locating, again, the grant number and the due date, the report due date. You'll go ahead and click Edit in the upper right corner. Just like with the grants, you'll complete all the fields. Any fields that are bolded are required. And also like with the grants, towards the end of the page, we have the Expenditures section. We ask that you click to download the report budget worksheet. It will download in Excel, just like the proposal budget worksheet, though this one is a little bit different. We ask that you complete it, make sure you save it, and then at the end of the report, there's the Documents section where you can click this blue button again to upload your budget worksheet. If there are other attachments you'd like to send to us, they can be uploaded here under Report Attachments, again, just by clicking the blue button. And like we said before, you click Add Files, select your file, click Start Upload. When the status here reaches 100%, you can feel free to go ahead and close this pop-up window. Remember that there's no auto-save feature in the grantee portal, so you'll want to save often to ensure that your data is not lost. When you've finished your report, you can go ahead and click Save. You'll be taken back to the read-only screen where you can either continue to work, so click Edit, or in the bottom corner, you'll click Submit. Once you submit the report, again, you cannot edit it. The report will now show in either Pending Interim Reports or Pending Final Reports. As you see here, I have this Pending Interim Report. It shows a status as received by the Foundation. It has all my information in it, but I can neither edit nor submit it. It's just a read-only page for my own benefit. Much like with grant proposals, Foundation staff may have follow-up questions about your reports. The process for this is the same. You'll receive an email alerting you to log into the grantee portal to respond to our questions. This email will have the grant number displayed. Excuse me, please mute your phone if you're on the phone. Thank you. So you'll receive an email alerting you to log into the grantee portal to respond to our questions, and that email will contain the grant number. You'll go here to Revisions Required. Both interim reports and final reports that we request more information about will be found in this folder. So here I find my report that the Foundation has questions about, so I'll click on it. It will appear here in a read-only format. I I see my message from the program officer to please respond to the questions and resubmit the report. To respond to these questions, just like with your grant proposals, you'll click Edit, and you'll locate follow-up questions from CT Health. They will be right at the top of the page. You'll respond to the questions by typing into the subsequent text box. When you're done, go ahead and click Save, and then you can click Resubmit. Your report will then move back to either the Pending Interim Reports folder or the Pending Final Reports folder until the report is approved. So those are the biggest things that you can do with this system. Submit proposals, submit reports, and also view active grants and closed grants. The other thing you can do is look at payments that have been made by the foundation to your organization. In the payments section, you can see payments made by the foundation, as well as refunds of grant dollars that we've received from your organization. This will be the first place to look if you are expecting a payment. You can see, so if we click on payments made by CT Health, you can see the payments that the foundation has made. By clicking on either of these, you'll see that you can see the date that the check was cut, the amount that the check is for, as well as the check number. So again, this is the first place you can go if you're expecting a payment, rather than emailing us to find out if a payment has been made. This is also where you can look to see if we received a check from you. In this case, we don't have any located here, but they'd appear here, payments received by CT Health. The last thing that you can do in here is look at the contact information that we have on file for you, your organization, and others in your organization who are registered with us in the grantee portal. Under Users, if you click People with My Organization, you'll see yourself, your contact information, and others would be listed here if there were other people in your organization who are also registered in our portal. If you notice that the contact information is incorrect, or if there have been changes made to your contact information recently, please go ahead and email grants@cthealth.org, and we will change the information manually on our end of the system. The same thing is true for my organization. You can go here to see the contact information we have on file for your organization. If you notice that something needs to be changed, again, we ask that you email us, and we'll initiate the changes on our end. As I stated before, you can't edit or update the contact information, so it's important that you just go ahead and email us to do so. So I'm just going to click back over to my PowerPoint. And this is the time when I will take any questions that you might have. So let's see. So one question we have is if current reports for current grants should be filed through this system. The answer is yes. We'll be sending out emails individually to each grantee about a month before the report is due to provide specific instructions on how to submit the reports. And we'll work with you to make sure that everything goes smoothly. Another question, does the system let you scroll through all the application screens and other parts of the system without entering any information to familiarize yourself with the content before typing? Two answers to that question. One is yes, you can scroll through the portal in general, clicking through the different tabs to see what's there. In terms of the application questions, there are actually, let me exit out of here and I can show you. On each page for the application, there are these links that actually will have a list of the questions, so you can look at the questions. But if you click apply now and a new screen pops up and you're just looking, but you don't want to save anything or submit anything, you can just hit cancel and nothing will have saved. Same thing, is it possible to print the application questions before you enter anything? Your best bet is to click on the link found for a program grant under Step to Apply under Steps 3 and 4, is to actually download, they're just PDFs of the questions so you can familiarize yourself with that content. They'll also be available on our website. So yes, both those questions. Does anyone have any other questions? Well, if no other questions, know that you can always reach out to us at grants@cthealth.org, and we'll respond and answer your questions. Other than that, this is our website for our grantee portal. It's now open and available to you, so feel free to go register. The answer, Mary, is that this is, as of today, we're going to be doing everything online right after this webinar. And we will work with you all to make sure that this all goes smoothly. So please visit this website, go ahead and register and explore, become familiar. On our website, cthealth.org, in the coming days, we'll have a page dedicated just to the Flux grantee portal, with many resources, including the recording from this webinar, some short videos for each little thing you might want to do, like applying for a program grant, submitting a report, those kinds of things, as well as short videos and, I think that's what I just said, and PDF step-by-step instruction sheets as you become familiar with the system. And again, feel free to contact us if you have any questions. We're here to help. Thank you all so much. We're really looking forward to making our grants process more efficient and user-friendly for all of us. Have a great day.
Thank you.